let's talk about the Giants and the Cowboys. This is not that timely, but anyway, this was like 2 weeks ago. It was the weekend that I went on vacation. The day before we left, the Giants got their ass beat by the Eagles. And I was in our hotel room, and Miranda was ranting to me. And then the next night, the Cowboys lost while I was on the ship, and I had to watch it in real time on this big boat, on this big screen. And then I was ranting to Miranda, and it was just a very long rant over the weekend about our shitty teams.
Yeah, pretty much. And we eventually, I think this would be a cool segment to do, either just us bitching about sports. What did I say? We need to think of a name, but basically like airing your grievances with your sports teams. Mm-hmm. So basically us, or like eventually some listener submissions about what they need to air on the podcast with us, and then we can do our little takes on it. But yeah, we honestly, if you didn't listen to our previous episode with the fantasy football grades, we called it. Like, I think we knew that neither our teams would win, and I knew that the Giants just won that first game as a fluke, and I never trust them ever. And it's hard because like there's two sides. Like, your realistic side is like, this isn't going to end well. And then there's like the hopeful side who's like, oh my God, what if we win and we go to the next round? And like, yes, they can do it. They had a pretty solid season, blah, blah, blah. And it was just not. That was the worst Giants playoff game I've ever seen.
Yes, it was pretty awful. If you would have read our text thread from 2 weekends ago, you would think we were mentally unstable, which we might be.
Maybe.
But it's unhinged.
Oh, it was very unhinged.
You could just feel it coming because we knew that the Vikings were frauds. So I was like, oh, the Giants are definitely frauds for being the fraud Vikings. Like, Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith. This isn't going to go well for the Giants. They've lost to them twice already this year. It's just going to be the same thing. And it was, but it was much worse than I expected it to be.
Same. And it literally looked like they didn't practice all week. Like, they were so far underprepared. And I totally understand that, like, the Giants were awful. We would have lost regardless. But the play calling, and I think everyone has been talking about this, like, for the past, like, since the playoffs started, that the penalties and, like, the refs, and it has been so chaotic this playoff season.
We could do a whole episode on the reffing situation in the NFL, but it's a bad scene. People think more than ever the NFL is rigged, and I don't blame them. How could you not think something odd was going on? Just based on the games that we've seen the past 3 weeks, it's a shit show. So, not to say it is rigged. I'm not going on here and saying it's rigged.
Yet.
Read the text threads. It says it in there, but I'm not saying on here. It's just, it looks bad. I won't blame the rest for the Cowboys because that was completely us, completely a Dak Prescott, absolute fucking shit-face show. I'm off the train again. I was on the train after he threw for like 5 touchdowns against the Bucs, and I'm so far off the train, I can't even describe it. So,
yeah,
here we are.
Whenever I think it was Janelle who posted the photo on her story of the TV, and I was like, oh my God, because like Kelsey said, they were on a cruise ship, so it was like one of those massive TVs, and I'm like, Kelsey's gonna have to watch the Cowboys lose on this huge ass television.
I was fuming on day one of my vacation, absolutely fuming, watching Dak Prescott throw.
Like, you got it out of the way, and then you could just relax the rest of the time.
Yeah, I forgot about it, so I was like, oh, that's just another year gone by where I don't see the Cowboys win a second playoff game, which I've never seen. I've never seen us win 2 in a season. So the streak continues.
The streak continues. Yeah, we'll see what happens in the Cowboys and Giants offseason. I'm not hopeful whatsoever.
if I don't, they're not going to restart everything, but I would love to see them completely restart. There's no reason to pay Dak Prescott $40 million for 17 interceptions. I can throw 17 interceptions for $3 million.
I'll take
if anyone wants to hire me, honestly. Zeke Elliott gets God knows what to average 3 yards a carry and just be fat. So I'm over it. It's time to restart. I'm done.
Yeah, I definitely thought that the Giants were restarting for the past 10 years now. But I think we have to restart again.
You have to restart the restart, actually.
Yeah, and I think I'm nervous about Barkley staying. If I were him, I wouldn't stay. Like, what's the point? Nobody, it's just like, and I feel like we talked about it, the Giants and Cowboys are so fall into like that old school class of football organizations where they're so stuck on traditional ways and they're not moving forward with the times, like having young, like not even young because our quarterbacks are young, but just quarterbacks that live up to the hype of Jalen Hurts. Like we said, you can't watch a game where Jalen Hurts is playing for the Eagles and Daniel Jones is playing for the Giants and look at it and be like, yeah, we're on the same level. Like, our teams are falling behind so quickly and not making any changes to keep up with the likes of the Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Bengals, literally any single team in the playoffs, and the two teams going to the Super Bowl right now. So I just don't have hope whatsoever.
You always, I think, as a team, have to look at the other teams, not only in your division, but your conference. Am I to where they are? If the answer is no, then what are you doing spending $30-40 million on a quarterback? If the answer is no, I think, you can make the argument that that's the best you can get at this point in time, and maybe that's true. But to free up cap space, with somebody from the draft and be able to build around him, I don't know. To me, seems like a better risk to take than paying somebody $30 million who can't win a second-round playoff game. But that's just me.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with Daniel Jones. Like I said, if we sign him for longer, like 3+ years, I'm going into a depression.
He's probably going to get tagged for like $32 million, I think is the tag, and then they'll probably structure something after that. But I hope the Giants do, because that's good for the rest of the NFC.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. They're just going to shoot themselves in the foot. It's fine. Kelsey and I talked about how, like, the Eagles are just going to dominate our division for the next
10 years.
How long? Decade of our
10
lives.
Years.
We're going to be freaking 40 years old by the time they're not good anymore.
The Eagles have went to 2 Super Bowls with 2 very different teams in the past 5 years, while the Cowboys and Giants have looked the exact fucking same for the last 5 years and have gone nowhere. And I'm so tired of it. I'm sick.
Exactly. And again, like, that Eagles team who won the Super Bowl with Nick Foles as their quarterback, okay? Like, what is that guy as? He's a backup quarterback somewhere. I don't even know where he's at anymore. Just fallen into irrelevancy. And
I don't know.
Now they have Jalen Hurts, who will probably be their franchise quarterback. But, like, you have to look at the formula, and it's not the same as it once was. If you don't have a quarterback like a Tom Brady, you need more than just the quarterback.
Right. You can't spend assloads amount on your quarterback anymore. And that's proven. It is literally proven that the highest paid quarterbacks, with the exception of Patrick Mahomes, because he's a freak, that it doesn't work to have that much cap space eaten up by your team. It's just math, people. We're just doing the math.
Simple mathematics. I don't know. I am not really excited for the Super Bowl whatsoever. I'm glad the season is over for our teams. Like, I can't take it anymore. But I'm excited for Breanna first and foremost, and then the commercials, and go Chiefs, because I'm sure as hell not rooting for Philadelphia.
The whole world is rooting for Jalen Hurts to shut Brittany Mahomes up because she made a stupid TikTok, and I'm like, I have to root for Brittany Mahomes because I am a stupid Cowboys fan right now.
I know. I feel like we're the only fans of NFC East are rooting for Kansas City Chiefs, and obviously Chiefs fan. Everybody else rooting for Jalen Hurts and the Eagles.
Oh, absolutely, because Jalen Hurts is a man god, and there's nobody to hate on that freaking Eagles team.
They're really
but there's
besides the coach.
not. Yeah, fuck that guy. They're so likable though, like Jason Kelsey and Jalen Hurts, like.
But I'm rooting for the other Kelsey brother, Travis Kelsey.
True shit.